Here's the Cat 613G scraper. This is one of Norscot's models that they just released this year. I'm pretty sure this is the first time it's on YouTube, so not many people bought it, obviously, or at least on YouTube. So if anyone's looking to buy it, I hope you like this review. And that's pretty much it. Let's get this started. Now, here's the model itself, and here's the box it comes in. This box has an age warning of 14 years old, I just realized that. And I actually never seen that on a Norscot box, at least a 14 years old. Here's the back of the box. It just tells you it's 1/50th scale, it's articulated, moving ejector, the GPS, which is the AccuGrade, and it's just typical Norscot box. The window, it's missing the plastic insert, but you get an idea. Now here's the model. The reason why I bought this model is because I really like the look of it, especially the back of it. I like the bowl part. This is called the bowl, where all the dirt gets hold. But tires spin 360. It turns a decent amount. It's not too much, but it's a good amount. The bowl lifts up and down. You can move the ejector, but it's rubber, and it really doesn't move too much. Has GPS, and these cylinders, just like a 657G, when you turn it, they do move, so they are working. The mud flaps are rubber. It's pretty much just a normal scraper. It has an air horn, and here's the bottom side of it. Now let's get into depth with this. Alright, now here's the 613. When I first got this out of the box, I was very impressed by it. It has a very authentic look to it. In my opinion, it looks it's more one of the more realism Norscot models. It kind of looks like the real machine. It can resemble it. But here's the cab. Many people are going to ask why the black cab. That's just with the new the Cat design. The cabs are painted black along with the power stripe, or you could also call it power edge. Here's the front. Let's see, that's good. Headlights are right there. And then here's the front grille for the radiator. One thing that they improved on, which is great, is the steps are thinner. And they're more realistic. They're not so big. They are plastic, but they're thinner plastic and they look much nicer. The cab it's nicely detailed. It's a standard Norscot cab. If anyone has any Norscot models, the cab plastic insert really didn't change too much. What I do like is what they did was they put in a horn on it to replicate the horn. Just here's the top of the cab. Diamond plate right there, or the anti-slip texture. And here's part of the engine. It's right there. The tires. The tires are the only thing I really don't like about the Norscot tires is they're they have a shine to them, like a gloss. If they were more like, if anyone, flat, like a TWH tires, they would look much nicer and more real. Along with the whole model, it's a very glossy model. But if you like models that are glossy, the Norscot are the ones for you. Now here's the steering. Like I said, cylinders turn. And here's the bowl. It moves up, and it also moves down to the ground. Can it move? Nah. It just goes down enough that it will touch the ground. It won't lift the scraper off the ground. It won't have really any depth. Now, the biggest thing I didn't like about this was this part. It will help pull dirt into it. I never really liked it. I always liked the open bowl ones where it just naturally goes into it. I was thinking about taking it off, but I'm just going to leave it. This piece right here is rubber. This is plastic. And another thing was about this model, there wasn't really too much plastic on it. But this is this whole piece is rubber, and it doesn't, you can't really spin it. You can, but you don't want to break anything. Doesn't move, and it's also plastic, the ejector. This whole piece is plastic right here too, the fuel tank. Now, the back of it, I like that the wheels came out. I don't know why I like that so much, but it just looked very cool. And this is all metal, bolt detail. The mud flaps are rubber, and they're free-moving rubber. They're not really too stiff. The lights, and of course the lifting hooks, which I'm glad a lot of the manufacturers are putting the lifting hooks, because a lot of times companies will use lifting hooks to move a machine, especially if it's working really in a foundation, or really anywhere where the machine has to be lifted. In ports where they unload salt or rock, a lot of times they lift the machine right into the barge. Another example where they use lifting hooks was last weekend at the World Trade Center. They lifted a Cat D10T out of the north east bathtub, which a bathtub over there is basically just what the foundation is called, but there's 4 separate ones. And they lifted that out of there using the lifting hooks. So, I mean, it's not only used just when they unload it off a boat at a port when it first comes into the country. It's made in another country, because Cat machines are made in other countries, mostly made in Peoria, Illinois, but some of them are made in other countries, and the parts of them are shipped here. Anyway, sorry if I went off there. Again, the bowl. These are the arms. It's what holds the bowl to the hitch. Now, if anyone's wondering what this black piece is, this is the GPS. If anyone's familiar with a GPS in a car, that tells you where to drive. GPS on a machine tells you where to dig and drop off the dirt to a fill area. Most of the time, you will see a scraper on a cut and fill job. Cut meaning is where they have to take away dirt. Fill is where they have to fill in dirt. Because on a site, you don't only take away dirt, you also fill dirt. Fill mean put dirt in areas where it needs it. Especially if you're building a road. A lot of times you'll see scrapers on those jobs, or a large residential job, or pretty much anywhere where dirt needs to be moved at a long distance in a short period of time. And then there's just really a step right there. That is plastic, so watch out. Again, that's part of the engine and the hitch. Here's a smokestack. Now, what was caught my eye at first when I first unboxed this was the texture on here. That's a very large, not large, it's a big improvement on Norscot's end. Because simple little things like this will make a model sell more. You'll sell more. And that's just awesome. I love how they did that. That's one of the things that, in my opinion, just make the model look much more realistic. Here's the access ladders to get on it. That might be air intake / air filter. Here's a ladder to get up on it. And I don't think this scraper has 2 engines, but the larger ones, like a 657G, has an engine in the back over here and an engine in front. Power these tires, that axle. Now to the other side of the model. Nothing really special. It's just flat. I rarely look at the underside, so I mean, it really doesn't matter to me. So, there's the serial numbers. Now, I was talking with someone at DHS's Diecast open house in Ohio, and they actually, if anyone knows Independence Excavating, scrapers are actually becoming obsolete. Because you can't really get that much of a precision cut with a scraper than you can with, say, a excavator or even a track loader. Even so, when you come close to a building, or say you're at a site and there's a building right next to it, and you gotta take dirt away, and this is this represents the building, and this is a scraper. It pretty much will only pick up dirt from around right there on there. So with the scraper, you also got to bring in an excavator. Chances are there's going to be an excavator on site, so you won't really have a problem. But scrapers are really just they're not really efficient to run. They are, but in my opinion, they need a much bigger bowl, because they're mainly meant to pick up dirt and to move it to a far distance away on site. It pretty much takes away from a whole excavator and articulated truck. This would be the articulated truck part. Our whole truck holds the dirt. This is pretty much the excavator part, puts the dirt in there. But a lot of people are just going back to the standard excavator, articulated truck, or whole truck. This was also the same guy who told me about in quarries or mines. A lot of people are starting to use loaders now. Really, it's using a loader is really basically picking up pennies or dollars. You don't really save too much other than day-to-day maintenance on them. You have to grease less and so on. But I mean, that's just thought I'd share that with you. But that's the brand new 1/50th scale Norscot 613G. I forget how much this retails for, but I think it's around $45-50. You might be able to find them for like $39. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot what I bought this for. It was probably around $39, $40. It's between $40 and $50. You can find them cheaper pretty much. If you look around eBay and stuff, you can find them cheap. But that's the Cat 613G.